What's going on, everybody? Today is Tuesday, November 19th, and the inaugural 12-team playoff is a complete clusterfuck, courtesy of the SEC. Georgia handles Tennessee, and the logjam just gets more log jammy. I don't know what the correct adjective there would be, but Texas with one loss, five two-loss teams. As I said a couple weeks ago, probably only four of these teams make it. I think, if the math is mathing. But then we were talking about before the show. I don't know what happens. Like, what do you do with Indiana if they lose? What do you do with Penn State if they lose? Like, I think Oregon's safe, but like if Ohio State loses to Michigan, like what the fuck do you do with them? There's a lot of interesting permutations. I think that they had it perfect where they're gonna need 12 teams, and so they made a 12-team playoff, and then they were like, by the way, the group of five automatically gets a team. So now there's somebody's going to be sitting at 13 that's none too happy.
Probably ranked higher too, because I don't know if Boise State has cracked the top 12 yet, because that's who I guess they've been the one in. Um,
I think they
yeah,
were
someone's gonna
13
be
last week,
pissed. Yeah, someone's gonna be pissed. Someone in the SEC probably.
and I'll die for him. We
I
in the group chat this week, I kind of turned into SEC Lou for a little bit. What's a Southern
Zero.
Lou thing? Sweet Lou, maybe
Yeah.
something like that. Mags already calls me that, so
I think I think the Big Ten is pretty like it's relatively easy as long as these teams like take care of business. Penn State shouldn't lose. If they don't lose, they're in. Ohio State, if they make it, if they beat Indiana, regardless of what happens in what would be their rematch with Oregon, they're probably in with two losses to the number one team in the country if they lose. Oregon's in with one loss if they lose to Ohio State. Um, I think I think in the Big Ten it just comes down to like what Indiana looks like against Ohio State if they lose. Um, I think if they keep it close, I think even if it looks like the Penn State game and they end the season with one loss, I think they're in.
yeah,
Um,
I think so too.
and then you get down to the SEC because their schedule's not great, but it's a one-loss Power Four team. They're gonna get in. That's just how it goes.
Yeah,
It
Um,
just it feels like this year for some reason the SEC fans are even louder and more obnoxious than they typically are because I was going through my personal Twitter's like mentions from before, and the first one at the top was me arguing about the SEC against the Big Ten in 2022. And so 2 years prior, the 12 year or the 12 team playoff, and the my counter arguer was talking about how the SEC just beats up on each other every year, and like, yeah, that's true. And do they expect Big Ten teams to just not be in the conversation at all? Because it's incredible to me when you actually look at the middle tier teams, which they say the Big Ten's top heavy and the rest is garbage. Like the middle tier teams that have been sneaking and stealing a couple wins against top tier SEC schools, it almost feels like they're kind of mirroring each other, kind of the exact same conference.
well,
The only thing I guess is that there's like three or four one, two loss teams or whatever at the top, which I guess could almost make you say that it's worse. I don't know.
that's what I was gonna say. Is I think that there's an argument to be had where, like me personally, I think Ohio State. I know they lost to Oregon. I think Ohio State's probably the best team in the country, and based on their close game with Oregon, I'd probably put Oregon too. But
I take
Oregon,
Loyola over Howard by a long shot, though.
yeah, I would as well. I'll
well,
cut this
anyway,
in.
fuck the SEC. Like they're good teams. They're probably the SEC is definitely deeper than the Big Ten. I don't know that all of those two-loss teams are better than the top three in the or the top, I'll leave out Indiana because we kind of like they haven't played anybody to be fair, but they have stomped everybody they've played for the most part. I don't know that all those two-loss teams are better than Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State just because they play in the SEC. Um, and I don't really think like you can make an argument a 2-loss SEC team should be in over a 1-loss Big Ten team. Because at the end of the day, a lot of those teams have bad losses. Like
Yeah,
Ole Miss, that loss to Kentucky's bad. Kentucky's not a good team. The Tennessee loss to Arkansas, bad. Arkansas is not a great team. Um, Even the Ole Miss lost to LSU. What do they have? 3 losses now?
4.
4? 4 losses now. Like, what's LSU?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
pretty much that's the point I was going to make before this that I saved is pretty much all those two loss teams have one really good win, one loss against a really good team, and then one bad loss. Or like bad quote unquote cuz I like kind of the point that Eric was making is Oregon I understand like this sounds obvious, but the only game I've really been impressed by them is Ohio State. I feel like every other game that they play, it's like, all right, they should win by whatever, like whatever you would um, handicap the game at. They never would cover that, like just your expectations, I guess. But I still think I'd say like Ohio State, Oregon, but I think the point is that you could say like Texas, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, like those like more towards the end. I've never been a huge believer in A&M or really Ole Miss as much this year, but I think you could say all of them give Oregon and Ohio State a game. And I think if you're saying that those are like the bona fide like top two teams in college football, I think the only other team from the Big Ten that you could really throw in there is Penn State. And so at
yeah.
that point, you're saying the like middle tier of the SEC being like LSU, like Vandy, Mizzou, like teams like that. You're getting into like the like ninth and 10th best team in the SEC, and I feel like that's being compared just in the example you had to like Iowa or like a USC or somebody like that. That I think
Yeah.
they just those are like the sixth and seventh best teams in the Big
I,
Ten.
I think, I mean, so I pulled it up. There's four zero or one loss teams at the top of the Big Ten, and then Illinois squeaks in there with three, and then it's four and just kind of 50 feet of shit essentially. But that's kind of what is going on, I think, in the SEC, and I think they're really, really thrown off by the disparity between Alabama of now and the Alabama of the past because, like, for the longest time, I mean, Ohio State has they have that the playoff win, they have a championship in the time from the 14 playoff. Then it's kind of skewed by Alabama being just ridiculous for forever with Saban, which is like a legendary kind of run that like every other year Georgia or LSU might kind of pop up there and be contenders. But the difference I think now with the SEC is with Alabama under Saban in like 2016 or whatever years, they would absolutely never lose to anybody ranked outside of like the top 10 or whatever. You know, and
Vanderbilt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a lot closer than everybody's saying. And to kind of hammer the point home, this one tweet I thought was interesting because they're saying that every other conference is just horrible in comparison. So Oklahoma State is 0-7 in the Big 12. They beat Arkansas, who have it up here, who beat Tennessee, and then USC is 3-5 in the Big 10, who beat LSU. Cal is 1-5 in the ACC, who beat Auburn. Who I know Auburn's kind of like who gives a shit, but they're still playing. Like I pulled their schedule up, they've still played a couple teams relatively close in terms of the rest of the SEC, and they beat Kentucky, who beat Ole Miss. And
Wait,
then
so
Georgia
this is
State.
supposed to be a pro SEC tweet?
No, no, this is
Oh,
anti-SEC.
okay.
I'll never
I
be
thought you
pro.
were like, listen to how ridiculous this tweet is.
No,
I thought
yeah,
it
no, no,
was
no.
okay. Sorry.
No, opposite. Because and this is like really to hammer home the middle part of the SEC, which is what everybody is saying is like a lot different. But it feels like they're kind of close to the bottom tier of that upper echelon that they're talking about. So then Georgia State is 0-6, 0-6 in the Sun Belt. And they beat Vanderbilt, who's like giving all these teams a scare. And each week they're like Vanderbilt's tougher than you think. Like they're a lot better of a team than everybody acts like they are. But then then the Illinois or like Indiana even being 10-0, it feels like they still treat them the same way, and it feels strange to me.
So you're telling me if Vandy didn't lose to Georgia State, they'd be like one loss away from being in the fucking playoff right now? Is like
No,
kind of
no, I'm saying that
no
loss
that
looks horrible.
I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm saying well, even though that was explicitly the wording that I used, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying Vandy's 6-4. If they didn't lose that, they'd be 7-3, and then it's like, hey, just take away one of those losses, and they're fucking in.
Exactly. They'd be talking about them like whatever. But you gonna play a little game of blind resume?
I do think Georgia, with their two losses, I think out of all the SEC teams, they should be like the first team that gets in. They should not be the
Yeah,
team, and I don't think anyone's saying that, but they should not be the team that's left out. Their schedule has actually been pretty brutal, and I mean they lost to Ole Miss on the road, and who's their other one? Oh, Alabama on the road.
mm,
And those are two playoff teams. They've also gone and beat Texas on the road. They've just
yeah.
beat Tennessee at home. Like their two losses in my opinion are different than the other ones because
And
they've just
they're
played
the only
like a chainsaw of a schedule.
they're the only ones that didn't do the thing I said earlier of where one of
Yeah.
your losses is a ridiculous loss.
Yeah.
And also they kicked the shit out of Bama for a half.
Yeah.
It just they happened to spot them 4
Two
touchdowns.
great
So.
wins is more than everybody else, right? Everybody else kind of has like a great win and then a kind of meh win, and that's like their argument against them. It's too bad that Vandy has the losses because they, you're right, they're like kind of close, but really far away from being considered like a top 5 team. If you,
Yeah.
if based on how everybody's talking about rankings right now.
Yeah.
And
I
I'll say this, I'd be fine with them putting all of these teams in and leaving Notre Dame out.
yeah.
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 Notre Dame
What's
is I want
Northern?
Army to win this week so fucking bad.
So
Oh,
fucking bad.
that would be
What's
so
Northern
incredible.
What, 4 or 5 win team in the fucking MAC right now, and they walked into your
I
house
think
and beat
I
you?
think they got 6 wins, pal.
Oh shit! You got to start thinking. Are they? uh,
Wait, I'll
They
all
find
right.
it
So
real
fucking
quick.
little blind resume. Mags prepared this for us, and
This was
he
his
did.
contribution.
He did quite a few of them. So we're going to use a portion of it.
This is like
Um,
in Moneyball where he says, "Did you do those 3 player evaluations?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did 70 or whatever the
it's like
fuck."
actually 100. I don't know why I lied just then.
Yeah.
All right. So Team A, they are. Do you want the record or you want all the other stuff first? You want
give me the
record?
record first.
All right.
Yeah.
Team A is 9-1. Their strength of schedule is ranked 38.
Wait, I
Their
just
best win.
before you do this real quick, I know. Here, wait. I'm gonna write something down.
I know who this one's
Mag.
at.
I know
Who this
Mags, and
one
I know
is.
exactly who these are gonna be. Let me just write
Yeah.
it down real quick.
Yeah, but I'm jumping around, so we'll see.
I know because you did 2 9-1 teams against each other here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a guess for who they are. It's on the other side of this post-it note.
All right. So team Team A, 9-1, strength of schedule ranked 38. Their best win comes against the number 38 team in the country, but an away game, whatever. And they're 3-1 against ranked opponents.
Okay.
Team B, also 9-1, strength of schedule is ranked 35th. Their best win comes at the number 16th ranked team in the country, but they're 1-1 against ranked opponents.
Okay.
Do you,
These.
do,
Or wait,
do you have,
how are we gonna do a reveal? Are we trying to guess them, or are we
do you
saying who
want
we
to pick?
think is
Do you want to
better?
pick which one you think deserves to be in the playoff more, and then guess who it is?
Yeah, I guess one loss teams is tough, but I'm guessing these are like cross conference,
Yeah.
right?
These
So
are
can you read them again? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
no, Team A, 9-1, strength of schedule 38th. Best win comes at number 38 in the country. They're 3-1 against ranked opponents, but we all know after like 12, it doesn't fucking matter what you're ranked anymore. At least at this point in the season, I guess. Team B, 9-1, 35th ranked strength of schedule. Best win comes at number 16, and they're 1-1 against ranked opponents.
Is Illinois as high as 16? I'm trying to.
No, I thought the first one was Penn State. I thought Illinois would be like 38 or something.
Yeah. No,
Which
they're
one do you
definitely
think
not
And
as
the
high.
should be in the
second
playoff?
one's the second one's Texas.
There it is. That was
What
my
is it,
guess.
Texas and Penn State?
Texas and Penn State.
Yeah.
It
Team
is,
B
but
is
Team
better.
1 is Texas.
Oh,
And
team
Team B
one
is
is
Penn
Texas.
State.
So B is Penn State. Penn State has slightly 35 and 38. Penn State has a 3 ranks harder strength of schedule, and best win is at number 16, but they're 1-1. And
Who's
Texas
number
is
16?
38 strength of
Who's number 16?
It must have been Illinois, right?
No, we played them at home.
Is it by some fucking metric or?
Well, let me look at it now because I didn't fact check his work. Maybe he sent me in here.
I think he might have sent you into an ambush.
Or was USC 16 at the time?
No,
They weren't? Oh, and it was also
I
home,
think
right? Or no, it was away.
that was
That was
They
away.
played at USC.
Was it not them?
maybe it could have been at the
I
time.
mean, I see nobody resembling the 16th best.
Wisconsin?
There's
Yeah.
no shot.
No.
Washington?
Mags, what have you done?
What did he
What does
do?
that mean?
I think Texas might be the team A and Penn State might be team B.
That's what it is.
Wait, no, the other way around. I think he has it reversed.
This is an amazing segment.
But we're 3-1 against. We played 4 ranked teams.
I don't think we've played 4 ranked teams.
That's the disconnect. I think Corey's right. I think these might be flipped.
I
Are
think
you
what I
looking at-
originally guessed was right. I
Are you
originally
looking
guessed
at
the
right
team.
now or at the time that they played? Are you think or
I don't think we've played anyone higher than 16 other than Ohio
USC
State.
was ranked, or no, they weren't. They had already kind of fallen off.
they had 2 losses.
Yeah.
2 losses could be at.
Texas, I also don't know who the fuck they beat that could be number 16.
Yeah.
2 losses, you could still be at 16 for sure, depending on who it came to.
Yeah, because they did beat LSU early.
They lost to Michigan and Minnesota. I guess aren't great.
I have no idea what to make of this blind rank.
I don't know either because I don't. That feels wrong.
All right, well, I hope the rest are correct. I didn't look it up.
I guess the 2 teams. That's all I fucking care about.
Yeah.
That you did. hit it
Either
on
way,
the
I
head.
think Penn State should be.
I mean, if let's just act like these numbers are right, it would be because because I want them to be, and because I was pleasantly surprised when I looked at it because it's clear to me like who really
you would
gives
be
a shit
surprised
about-
because it's not true. Never happened. It's like that shit with, I don't know if it's William Shatner or just a guy who looks like William Shatner, where like the whole thing is he tells a story and he says, it never happened. It's fiction. It's not true.
Somebody had
This
to.
one
I
never
need-
happened.
I need Mags to be here so fucking bad right
Oh.
now.
Somebody had to. Well, wait, hold
He's
on.
got to
hold on,
answer
hold
to
on.
this next week.
Hold on. Illinois is currently ranked number 24.
Yeah,
So
but
they-
like
they
it
certainly
has to
could
be
have
by
been
some
16.
kind of metric that they'd be
But
16.
we beat them
What are you
at
talking about?
home.
Oh, is that home? Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Did I read it wrong? No, it
no
has
no
at.
shot you beat them in their house.
Yeah, in Bloomington. Or I'm thinking of Indiana. Champaign. Definitely not.
I think
UCLA.
they were 19 when we played.
Wait, any chance was West Virginia up that high at the beginning of the season?
Fuck no.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, 100% they were unranked. Because I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, if they have a decent year, this could end up being a good win for us, and they really
West Virginia
haven't.
is a hilarious fan base. I know I went to Pitt, but they the fact that they were like, I mean, they're not dead for the Big 12, and it's like, actually, it's just these three teams need to lose every single game, and they need to win every single game, like with 4 games left, and it's like that's what it takes. And like they're not fucking dead, and it's like
I have a
actually,
lot of West Virginia in my algorithm right now because at the beginning of the year, just like from that week 1 game, and it's just stuck in the algorithm. I can't get it out.
yeah, mine's just Pitt stuff. We just see it.
Yeah.
It's like watching, like reading your little brother's journal.
I hope I don't start getting Padres shit now that
Well,
I was arguing about it.
one of these teams may or may not have been ranked at that time. Let's keep going and see if these other ones make sense.
Yeah, I want to see if the other ones make sense at all.
All right.
He should have put in parentheses who the fucking team was
Yeah,
that they
I
beat.
thought he was gonna.
Yeah.
I thought Eric was just not saying it until
Because
after
if
the
it was
reveal.
the rankings at the time of their win, we've got no fucking shot almost.
Well, back to the drawing board, because also the ranked wins, if you don't say like who or what number they were, it also doesn't matter, because who gives a shit if you beat, like if it's ranked at the time of playing, who cares if you beat 15 on.
I hate when people are like, well, they were number 13 at the time, and it's like that doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're 6 and 4 right now.
Of this season. Yeah. Although, anyway, I'm gonna see how I want to set these fellers up against each other.
I think you're fucked either way. There's no way
Yeah,
that this
apparently.
works for you.
All right, this team.
This is like if you're going to give a presentation, and like 2 minutes in, the teacher asks you a question about like, I don't know if that's true, and you're like, oh boy, I've got 12 slides about that, and being a fact, being true.
We can chalk it up to Mags fucking up, and also me not checking his work before hopping on the pod. Very unprofessional.
That is, at least you did a good job though. Of you did mention before we even knew it was wrong that he did it, so it wasn't even. Yeah. We did know that for a fact anyway already, but
I was initially gonna think about like stolen valor on his research, but
if this
is a good thing you didn't.
His brain was in a fog, the fog of war. All right. Round 2. Team A, 9-1. Their strength of schedule is the 82nd in the country. Do you guys know who this one is?
Ohio State.
Their best win is against at number 14, allegedly, and they're 3-0 against ranked opponents.
So you guys are number 14. So this is a metric.
Maybe. Well, it's
what the fuck is he talking about? Who are the 9-1 teams
it's
right now?
ESPN's Power Index.
Oh wait, it might be like Miami.
ESPN football.
Oh, it could be Miami.
Power Index is what that is. FPI number 14. He said.
Ooh, wait.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's just a calculator, I think.
I scrolled further to the corner and I saw he has a little whatever it's called,
an asterisk.
I mean, that would have helped a lot to know that it was FPI before the first one. That would have. We just waste.
This is like voting on the Hall of Fame based on Pro Football Focus ratings.
All right.
Can you say that one again?
I also definitely should have seen that from the beginning. Anyway, Team A, 9-1, 82nd strength of schedule. Best win comes against the Power Index number 14, and they're 3-0 against ranked opponents. Team B is 8-2. They have the 16th hardest strength of schedule, and their best win comes at home against FPI number 5, and they're 3-1 against ranked opponents.
Alabama.
I think that's Bama. Yeah,
that is Bama. Who's Team A?
I think it's Ohio State.
Nope.
No, it's who? Would you say 9-1?
Yeah.
And their best win is against FPI 14.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who the 9-1 teams are.
I might have to double check the schedule. Is it SMU?
No.
All right.
It's not BYU.
Yeah, because they're undefeated. I thought BYU at first too because I thought the win was SMU.
Yeah. Who the fuck else is 9-1?
Yeah, I need a.
It's Penn
I'm trying
State,
to think. I'm
Penn
trying to
State,
think of
Ohio
my.
State, um, Texas.
I gotta look up the rankings so I can see this.
Yeah.
They're. I can give you.
Miami has one loss.
They're.
Oh, Boise.
Miami? Is it Miami?
No, their
Boise
players are
State.
really fond of online dating.
Oh fuck.
Oh, Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
It's
Notre
Notre
Dame.
Dame.
Notre
Oh
Yeah.
fuck.
Dame.
Worst
And I
loss
was.
against a mid-MAC team.
Well, yeah, I feel like that would be a fun wrinkle to add in here. Also, so that I don't get confused again while I'm facilitating this, we just have the actual ranking of the opponent that they beat at the time of playing them instead of the power index. But I don't know if that makes it easier to make these or whatever. But um,
I th- I think you can include that, but we should just sub it in for what their college football playoff ranking is.
yeah,
Or I guess you could say, and if they aren't ranked, it's like what's the highest this team has been ranked? It's like, oh, at one point they were 23 or
yeah.
something like that.
So there's those two.
One
Um,
more. That one was
I mean,
bad
we
just
could.
because we couldn't guess it.
I was gonna kind of get. Well, I thought. I mean, Notre Dame's the only really thing. Like the only real thing that's egregious is their loss and the 82nd strength, like hardest strength of schedule. But those things are without like context of the loss and everything. It's not really.
I think if you get to hand pick your entire schedule, your schedule should be harder than if your schedule's not harder than 82nd in the country, you should have to go undefeated
Yeah.
to make the playoff.
Yeah, your loss can't be to a fucking MAC team. It
Yeah.
just can't be.
I'm trying to figure out how to pit these other few against each other because
Yeah, like if they just lost a close one to LSU in like early in the season and then they won the rest, I wouldn't feel nearly as bad about them because LSU is like a high ceiling, low floor team that if they
Yeah.
catch you, they catch you, and it's like whatever.
yeah. All right.
But also, then they wouldn't have that win, and then they look even worse. So maybe not,
Yeah.
because I would not give them any credit for beating Northern Illinois,
None.
even though Northern Illinois beat a top 10 college football player.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
if
the circles I'm going in.
to all right, last one. Team A, 9-1, strength of schedule 18. Best win comes at home against Football Power Index number 2. They're 3-1 against ranked opponents.
Wait, this team's
Team
9-1 or 8-2?
9-1. When I,
You said 9-1.
yeah.
I'm just surprised.
Yeah.
I assumed it was going to be another team. Sorry.
9-1, strength of schedule 18 versus Football Power Index number 2. Ranked opponents, they're 3-1. Against this other team's 8-2. They're the hardest strength of schedule in the country. And their
This is
best
Georgia.
yeah. The best one comes against at Football Power Index number 1, but they're 3-2 against ranked opponents. I was
Yeah,
gonna
it's
throw.
Georgia.
Do you want a third team?
Wait, who the first one
Who's
is
the
a
9-1
is a
team?
9-1 team?
Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do this other one. Then we'll throw them in the mix because Georgia's was obvious,
They
but this
lost
other
to
team,
FPI number 2.
yeah. Um, this other team, 8-2, 29th hardest
Oh,
strength
that's Ohio
schedule.
State.
No,
Because if Georgia beat number one is Texas, which means Oregon's number 2, which
no.
means that is Ohio State.
Ohio State is on here, but I wasn't using them because I wanted to push Penn State
What the fuck?
propaganda.
What is this? I'm so confused.
This other team, 8-2, 29th hardest strength schedule. Best wins at home against FPI number 5, and they're 1-1 against ranked opponents.
Ole Miss. No, not Ole
Their
Miss.
best team is against who?
Oh, Ole
Yeah,
Miss? Yeah.
that's what I thought too.
So who's team 1?
Ohio State.
No, same conference as the other ones. SEC.
Texas
Who,
again?
No.
We
who
said
else is
9-1.
9-1?
Tennessee.
They just
They have
Wait,
two
nine and
lost.
two.
losses.
They just lost. Wait, did he do this yesterday or Saturday?
But they did. They don't. They've never had 9 wins. They only have 8 right now.
Yeah.
Mags,
Oh,
Mags.
Mags.
I
Oh,
thought it was
Mags.
Tennessee, and
You
that's why
can't
I
see it.
said. That's why
Eight
you
and
said.
two.
That's why I
Yeah,
was like,
that's what you
wait, what's
said.
their record? Because I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
Tennessee, and I
I
was like,
thought,
aren't
I'll
they
be
8 and
honest.
2?
These are things I should catch while reading it. I'm just so focused on facilitating the game. But I
I had
should have.
no
I,
idea
Mags.
I
he needed
sat.
an
I sat in
editor.
the sports book and had Hooters wings and watched this game from fucking start to finish with Brett in Vegas. And I just um, incredible sports book though. Just
That
whipping
was a
cigs
great
inside and
segment. I think we
That
need to
was
do
yeah,
more
that
like
was
that.
that was great. That was enough of that. That was great
Yeah,
though.
that
yeah.
was enough of
Holy
that.
shit. We'll just cut. We'll fix it in post, right?
Well, I think we can never do another Mags created segment without him in the room because it's
Yeah.
chaos.
Yeah, I'd like to think that he maybe has an easy explanation for all of this, but I don't think there is one.
Yeah,
I'm
someone
texting.
text him.
Don't worry. Said you hung
Yeah.
me out to dry there, bud. Didn't check your work, and now I'm fucked.
Say 9-1 Tennessee, huh?
I should have known
Yeah, me
because
sounding
I've
stupid
been
guessing
I've
fucking
been
SMU and Miami for
I've been
these
just
teams.
hating on them for getting beat by shittier SEC schools. And anyway, moving on.
All right, is it time for a palate cleanser NFL segment here?
Yeah, except that sucks too. It's going to start off with
Well, let's talk
awful.
about our records last week.
Yeah. Last week, Corey 10-4, Lewis 8-6, Eric 6-9, or sorry 6-8, Mags 5-9.
I just need to tread
Ooh,
water above Mags. Did you
Bringing
catch
the
it?
per-
Or no, I guess you're still.
bringing the percentages to Corey 59.1%.
fuck,
He
so
has
close.
30 games over 500 right now.
That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy. I
And
would die for that.
I hit a parlay on top of it, and Paul Skeens Rookie of the Year, my future from a while ago that I got at plus 700, the absolute highest his odds got. Hit on Monday night, cashed. Fuck you, Padres thoughts. You're a fucking loser.
Is that his at name? Padres Thoughts?
That's his, I don't know what his at name is, but that's what his fucking Twitter thing says, Padres thoughts. This
You gotta
motherfucker
find it.
kept bringing up the goddamn head-to-head record of the Pirates versus the Padres in 6 games. Like, that
Well,
fucking
Skeens
matters.
didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't pitch against them. That's 2 separate 3-game
He's
sets. They
scared.
happened to not see him. Yeah, what the
He's too
fuck was
scared to
that?
play the Padres.
Yeah. And this fucking dipshit tweeted at me today. Well, someone else, another Padres fan, came to the rescue with a tweet that made no fucking sense. And then this guy said, Pirates fans should have been rooting for Merrill because now Paul Skeens
I
loses a
saw
year of
that.
service. Buddy,
He
already
played.
he played. Yeah. He already got a full year of service this year before he won the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
The fuck
That
are we talking about?
I feel like was his logic that, which if this is true, this is crazy, but I also don't even think it's true, that if you played say like 0.8% service time and if like you win an award it just automatically goes to 1.0.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
That
know
would
because
be
he got.
nuts.
I think I forget what the date is, but I think they call it the Super 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
He was up before that fucking date.
Yeah.
So because that was something that was talked about whenever he came up. They were like, oh shit, they're bringing him up before they have to, like, before the Super
Right.
2 date. Anyway, fuck that guy. You're wrong. I fucking told you in September. Doesn't matter that the Padres are better because it's not the fucking MVP. Paul Skeens also Cy Young finalist. That guy's fucking awesome. Cashed it plus 700. Fuck you, Padres.
You
Thoughts.
actually got that on the 15th?
I got it. I'd have to check. I got it sometime. I
The
think
bet said
early.
11:15.
No. That's I don't know why the fuck it said that. I got it.
That was the day the
Sep-
award got announced, I think.
Was
well,
it?
it was the 18th that the award got announced, but
Then
it
I don't
was
know.
I got it. I want to say September 4th, somewhere around then.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because if you got on November 15th, that's crazy because that's what it says
Imagine
underneath your.
3 days before the dude wins the award, he's plus 700.
Yeah, well, that's what it says next to it in your bet slip that you sent to us. Oh, here we go. Place 9-4. Okay, at
There you go.
9:30 in the morning. There you go.
Yeah.
I also like how when you were like
Just
woke up and was like, fuck.
Fuck it, he's the
Can't-
rookie of the year.
on a Wednesday. He was.
Did you have like a Targaryen dragon dream about Paul Skeens?
I think I was like, I think what happened was I was probably just scrolling on my phone and I saw the odds somewhere that he was plus 700, and I was like, that can't be fucking real.
Yeah.
And then I checked and I was like, holy shit, these people are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I also one last thing about that guy is I love when he was like, yeah, well, like the position player should win because like Chris Sale is not. He's like, I'd wager Chris Sale doesn't win the MVP. It's like, yeah, me too. Fucking
Yeah.
who thinks Chris Sale's gonna win the MVP? What does that
Yeah.
mean?
It's
You might not even win
rookie
the Cy Young.
of the year.
Yeah.
Just the best rookie.
The fact that relievers win it like once every 5 years should tell you it's
Craig Kimbrell.
it's the most impressive rookie. It's not
Yeah.
the most valuable. People are like, well, this guy was just flat out more valuable. That's not what the award is. It's
Yeah.
not most valuable rookie. It's not the
And
MVR. It is not
the guy-
the MVR.
He had a sub 2. Fuck out of here. And he didn't even play the whole season, and he had the same WAR as Jackson Merrill, which is like WAR's imperfect, but it's still a fucking stat they use to determine these awards. Anyway, Paul Skeens is awesome. Back to football. Fuck that guy.
All right. And exclamation point on that for Corey, 59.1%. Eric still hanging around 52.7%. Mags 52.1%. You guys were tied going into last week, so
Yeah.
you still got one game on him. And Lewis 50.0%.
Oh shit.
Let's
We're
go.
back to level ground, 82, 82, and 2.
To be fair,
On
I would have
there.
been a little bit better if I wasn't playing Boogeyman last week as far as the Steelers game. But
Oh, yeah.
that brings me back down to earth as far as betting the Steelers because I was really, really good at it.
I mean, we were shitting on you so much that the easiest thing in the world would have been to just bet on the Steelers, and you chose the road less traveled.
But imagine how I would have been so right. If I were
that's
right,
true.
I would have been so right.
Yeah,
You would
but
have
we're
been.
up 8 with like 2 minutes left, so
Yeah.
although that doesn't matter about anything.
The boys are playing. The boys are playing some fucking ball right now. I'll tell you what. The
Oh my
Steelers.
god, no way you just stole the Royals slogan there.
Oh Jesus fucking
You
Christ!
did. You
Did I really?
That's like those accidental cringe videos, right?
I fucking hate that.
I will say,
Cut
I think
it.
it helped me turn a corner for you guys because I don't, I don't hate like the Steelers. I think I've found a tendency to really hate the teams, like the favorite teams of the people around me. But
I do that too.
even though I'm
Maybe.
surrounded by Steelers fans and you guys and like everybody else in our friend group, I don't hate them. I actually still, I think it would be fun if they made a playoff run. It's just really hard for me to like wrap my head around them being, I don't know if you would call them a juggernaut yet, but definitely a Super Bowl contender because your defense is so good. I think definitely no. Like
You're
your
gonna
defense
bust
is
me
so
up.
I
good.
really struggle to think of us as a Super Bowl contender with Russell Wilson as the quarterback.
Yes,
That's
But-
that's what I was gonna say. But you just beat the Ravens, who people think like they could have been a favorite. Or
yeah, but the Ravens are in our back pocket.
Yeah, we fucking own those fucks. We
I get it.
own
We do.
them. 8-1 in the last 9, I think,
Yeah,
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
with
That's
the
one of
soon to be
things that I
3-time
just don't
MVP
put
at the
merit
helm.
into, but I guess I should.
Yeah, yeah, we just
Uh,
own them. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so after
Interesting.
those standings, the biggest anomaly in sports betting is the fact that Corey is the worst at the dick picks.
Yep.
Eric's 7-4, Mag's 5-5-1. I'm 5-6. Corey 4-5-2.
Yeah, why are you giving us the shit ones?
Because my best bet every week is always the Steelers, so then I always have to look for my second best bet because I don't want to just throw the Steelers in every week.
And if you put the
Um,
Steelers in the dick picks, it'll lose.
yes,
So
yes. And I just can't
everyone
I
knows
can't
that.
be leveraging that much emotionally into it every week with like dick picks, straight bet, also my personal happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
Was
And
yeah.
like a Najee Harris
I
touchdown
was
parlay with George Pickens over yards.
I was
Yeah.
telling Lewis last night. Like sometimes you're messing around on the app and you throw a couple things in. You're like, damn, those odds are sweet. Like, if I could bring myself to putting this amount of money on it, that'd be awesome. And I had Joe Mixon first touchdown and to score 2+ sitting in the queue with like a $25 unit on it. And I was like, hmm, like that could be fun. And then I just immediately deleted the multiple touchdowns, left the first touchdown score, and then put a couple other things in it, which included a Micah Parsons sack. Um,
Micah didn't get
but
a sack last night?
I don't. Now that I'm shaking my head, I can't remember if it actually ended up hitting or not.
But yeah,
I'll
that
have to
Mixon
sign
one would
back
have
into
been
the app
that
for
would have
the
been
app,
sick.
but yeah, I feel a good week come. I actually liked this slate last week, and I felt pretty good about a lot of them. But I guess this is what I should have expected with that feeling.
Yeah. Also, the other day when we were talking about fantasy, Eric, and you were like, I might need to trade some people. And I don't think you got what I was saying, but now that Corey's in here, I'll just repeat it. Where he was like, I need to trade some people. I was like, you should trade Mixon for a first.
Well, I guess my first. Wait, I don't think I gave you my first.
You did.
Was it my first?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I guess it's actually pretty valuable now.
it is.
Well, here's what could happen for me to still make the playoffs there, Lewis and Corey.
I would need to lose out
Is it not
because
the
I'm
top two in your in your division too, though?
no, it's the three division winners and then three wild cards.
But Corey, what Corey have 6 wins?
No, I have
I
four.
I have six
Yeah.
wins, and
Oh, okay.
I'm number six right
Well,
now.
I would need the top two. I could get 7 wins, and then like we would need somebody's.
I
I
don't
guess
know
That
if you're getting in it.
a couple people could like. I would need a couple people to lose out,
that's what I
maybe.
would. Well, no, that's what I was telling you is that it's the number five team already has 7 wins, which is your maximum. So it would I would have to be the one you pass, which I just keep losing on crazy shit. So
Corey, I
whatever.
have the third most points in the 12-team league, and I'm not going to make the playoff.
I'm very sad that you're gonna have a bad record.
It might not be a bad record. It might still be kind of a shit pick if I end up with 7 wins somehow.
Eric's kind of jetsing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably. Well, that's the thing.
I hope you don't win out and just fucking tank my draft pick to miss the playoffs as well.
I can't do that
Yeah, what if he
in
tanked
good
thinking he gave
conscience.
you someone else's pick, and then you're picking third?
Now I want to go
Yeah.
look, but I'm very certain it was his pick.
We need to set up Tankathon for our league. Okay, let's get into some picks. Um, I thought there were four no doubter games, and I really struggled on the fifth one because it's a lot of really good teams playing really bad teams. But what I decided on is, and I don't think either of these teams are really bad. I put in here Patriots +7 at the Dolphins over under 45.5. Patriots off a 6 point loss to the Rams. Dolphins covered their 7 or 7.5, whatever, against the Raiders. I feel like this is two teams that are worlds better than they were about a month ago, and I feel like people kind of wrote them both off. And I'm kind of struggling with this because I feel like the Patriots can play a lot of people to within a touchdown, but I also think the Dolphins are kind of back and maybe hunting the 7 seed. And I've been so loyal to the Dolphins. I think a lot of not thinking too much about this kind of stuff has helped me recently. So I kind of want to take the Dolphins. I kind of like the over as well. Um, but fuck. I thought I was definitely just gonna say Dolphins at the end of that sentence, but I kind of like the over.
What's the total? I missed it.
45.5. I'm gonna take the over.
This is like when you're in the grocery store and you see like a gallon of milk next to some socks. Somebody just decided they didn't have enough money for the milk anymore. They need a pair of socks. Corey, I'm interested. I would like you to go second.
You'd like me to go? Okay.
Yeah.
My first, I don't know. I think I could change. I think I'm gonna look at this one before we send our picks to Lewis at the end of the week. This is one of the games I'm really gonna be like staring at, trying to figure out what I want to do. But my initial reaction was Patriots plus 7.5, and I don't think they're gonna win. I don't think they can win, but it's a lot of points. They've been playing good football. Their defense is good. Drake May looks good. So it's more so just the big number. Hopefully their defense can keep them in it long enough. But I am scared, like you said, Lewis. That does scare me because I also think the Dolphins might be back. Because if the Dolphins score like 20 over 24 points, I think they're covering this game. I think they'll cover the 7.5, which I think they can, but I just don't. I don't know. The Patriots defense is good. For now, take the Patriots plus the 7.5. If it was
I
7,
think.
I might go Dolphins. I'll take the half. I'll take the hook right there.
Oh, it is 7.5. Fuck.
I think they're gonna win by somewhere between like 4 and 10, and I just know whatever I pick is gonna be wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, somewhere around there.
If only we were going off of ESPN spread because it's just 7. I
Well,
hate
yeah, I
like I
mean,
hate.
I got this last night. Let me look, or I got it right before the show. It's +7 right now on FanDuel,
Okay, fuck it,
So we're going
Dolphins.
so you could
7.
have 7 if you want to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I do think I want to take Dolphins -7 because I think we're all skewed with like the first week back was a different story because I know that got your goat a little bit, Lewis. But like just to kind of get back into it, but they
You got my what?
got your goat.
What the fuck does
They
that mean?
isn't that a thing? Isn't that a saying?
I what? I don't know what that
I'm
means at
pretty
all.
sure that's a saying.
What does it mean?
I don't know. It makes you mad. It's like something that upset you. I think.
Like someone took your goat and you're
Yeah,
pissed
I'm not.
about it?
It
Wouldn't that make
sounds
you
like it
mad?
would be upsetting in a place that has. If you had a goat and it was someone got it, that's
It's supposed to be yours, and they got it. That's
exactly.
upsetting.
Yeah.
That would
They
upset
have your
anybody.
goat.
That would
Yeah.
upset just about any of us. So I do think that they. I mean, we have injuries like Phillips on the defensive side of the ball, but he's hurt all the time, and we've been kind of the same team. So I think it's like skewed a little bit from like the Tua was out weeks because we might have the worst backups quarterback room outside of him in the entire NFL. So yeah, I mean when we have our full team and or mostly full team, we're like a 10-11 win squad. So I like us -7. And we're kind of as of late we're kind of with the Patriots how you guys are with the Ravens except for that just the Patriots aren't that good anymore.
College football playoff rankings just came out. Let's don't look at it. Let's play a game called How Many Spots Above Georgia is Notre Dame?
Get the fuck out.
They're 4
I
spots
bet.
ahead of Georgia.
I was gonna say 4. 4?
Fuck out of here.
Georgia's number 10. Notre Dame is ahead of Bama, Miami, Ole Miss, Georgia, Tennessee, SMU, A&M,
They're ahead of the whole fucking
BYU.
SEC. They lost to Northern fucking Illinois.
Oh, also earlier I said BYU was undefeated. I totally forgot they lost a game.
I also think Texas A&M isn't that great, and I
Me
forget what it
too.
was because it was the first game of the season. But it was kind of a dogfight, right? So I don't think A&M. I think A&M's just as good as like Illinois.
That's crazy. All right, we already did college football. That's the only like crazy thing is just the order of them. I do think it's the right 12
Can you
teams at
run
the
through
top.
the top 12 real quick?
Yeah, Oregon 1, number 2 is Ohio State, 3 Texas, 4 Penn State, 5 Indiana, 6 Notre Dame, 7 Bama, 8 Miami, 9 Ole Miss, 10 Georgia, 11 Tennessee, 12 Boise State, and then I think other notables are 13 SMU, 14 BYU, 15 A&M, Colorado, Clemson, like within striking distance. I mean,
They
they have to win their conference, but
they dropped BYU out. I didn't think BYU was good, but they do like they dropped them way out, and they lost to a Power Four team, right? They lost to Kansas, um,
yeah,
and Notre Dame has the worst loss in the top 15, probably.
right. And
Oh,
BYU
Anyway,
beat
comfortably.
SMU, who is
yeah.
a top 15 team.
Oh, fuck that.
All
Fucking
right,
cocksucking the
let's keep
Catholics.
let's keep
Jesus
going.
Rudy wasn't
Christ.
even real. The story's
I do
fake.
love that fucking Joe
Yeah,
Montana is like
yeah.
that story's garbage.
Fuck.
All right, um, up next, Cardinals plus 1.5 at the Seahawks. Over under 47.5. The Cardinals off a bye. Seahawks off a fucking Geno Smith not becoming a guy, but dressing up as a guy for Halloween and just stomping. I was like, I can't believe the Niners aren't going to cover, and it turned into they just fucking lost the game
Lost the
outright.
game.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really mad at the Seahawks because if they lost last week, this would be a perfect spot for them to win. But since they got that win, and since the Cardinals are off a bye, the Cardinals are still a team that no matter how good they look, I still just think that like it's the Cardinals, so the coaches can't be like that good. Like they have to let us down at some point. It's the fucking Cardinals, so I'm kind of struggling on this one. Like it's almost like a team where they're on a bye. I almost like them to lose even more. It's like they got to be overthinking this.
Feels like
I,
everything's screaming Cardinals, but that makes you
yeah,
think.
and then the Seahawks are favored. I know they're at home. If the Seahawks, this has nothing to do with the game, but
Does it feel like a square bet to take the Seahawks?
I think it's a square bet to take the Cardinals because everybody's like the Cardinals are definitely the play and they're underdogs.
Although the Seahawks
Off
are
of a
favored at
bye.
home. The Seahawks are favored at home after beating NFC contender in most people's eyes. I mean, pretty much everybody's eyes. I know that they're not having the year that they typically do, but
So the winner of this game leads the West. The West is a fucking talk about a logjam.
the Cardinals are also one that I don't know why it feels like they don't like. I don't even notice them on my screen when I'm running like the quad box or red zone or whatever every Sunday. It's like they kind of just squeak by and you hear about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet on the Seahawks. This might be stupid. I was on them hard at the beginning of the year, and then I realized how bad they are against the spread. I cooled off, and it paid off a little bit, and then now I'm back to I don't know where the fuck to go. But this just feels like the Cardinals cannot keep winning, so I'm gonna try to chase the spot here. I'm just bet the Seahawks.
Fuck. What's the total?
47 and a
37
half.
and a half.
Alright,
I was
that's a little high. I'm going over. I don't like that. Like, fuck.
Wait,
I
that's
I
a
was
don't
little
like
looking
how.
high. You're going
at the
over.
points.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
a little high, but I don't. I just don't want to bet the spread in this
gotcha.
game. So I'll go over. Pray for points. Both these offenses are good, so hopefully they can get me something there. Yeah, it just feels like it's like you said, Cardinals coming off a bye, Seahawks off a big win against a division rival to like keep their season alive. Maybe a letdown spot against a team coming off a bye, but also I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm
We
just
gotta
gonna
get
go
we gotta
over.
get the Kyler Call of Duty, whatever the opposite of a bump is.
Yeah,
And off a
the Call
bye,
of
what if he
Duty
just
game.
what if he just locked himself in his basement and he's been playing COD for 16 hours a day?
Oh, he's played so much COD the last week,
It's been out for 3 weeks,
2 weeks.
though, or whatever it is.
I know, but he hasn't
Yeah, and
started
then
to
he got the
suck. He
bye
must
right after that.
Yeah, but the week that it was open, he
he's
beat
been
the shit out
playing.
of the Jets or something.
Yeah, he probably put it away. He was like, I can do this I can get through a week because I got the bye coming up. He's like, I'll
Right.
lock in for this week. I got the bye coming up. I'm gonna fucking grind. And he
Fair.
probably did that over the bye. And then what happened was at the bye week they didn't have to do much. He had to come back to practice this week, and he was like, COD is so much better than this shit. He's played COD all week
Yeah.
long.
He's like, well, last week I was an NFL quarterback and I was playing COD, so let me just keep
Yeah,
playing COD this
yeah.
week.
Did you also see the video of him like just in New York, taste testing pizza with like a random dude from Switzerland or
With
something?
not Dave Portnoy.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
He was There was like a random dude who had no clue who he was, just doing like a pizza. The guy was doing it, whatever. And I don't know. Maybe he is a little distracted. The only thing is, I think I just want to root for points with Corey on this because for a while I was betting what makes the most sense in my mind, not thinking about the old better's tricks of like if all signs point towards one thing, you got to zag. That's been kind of biting me in the ass the last couple of weeks, so I think I'm going to go over 47.5.
There you go. All right. Speaking of their division rival, 49ers plus 2.5 at the Packers. This is the what the fuck bowl here. Over under
Yeah.
47.5. Niners off that heartbreaking loss to the Seahawks. Packers off a win that they should not have gotten again at the Bears. And this is two teams that I've loved to bet this year and hate to cover. They hate to cover. I don't hate for them to cover. I'd love for them to cover, but they don't. They don't like to cover. So 2.5. It's small enough where it's just hey, fucking pick the winner. And oh, it just really
Oh,
feels like the Niners need a
they're
win, and
so due.
the Packers can really afford to lose a game, and so it feels like in terms of where you expect everything to end up at the end of the season, it kind of feels like the Niners should win this game outright. But man, any angle I look at this from, I'm gonna lose,
Yep.
and I am gonna hold my nose. 49ers. That's a hold your nose bet.
Listen, I've
I
been
gotta look how
chasing
many
them for
times I bet
weeks.
the Niners. I'm so bad at the
I've been
Niners.
chasing them all fucking year. I've bet them every fucking week, I feel like. And they
Yeah,
always lose. And I'm going to keep doing it until they fucking win. Because this win that they're going to get this week is going to feel so fucking good. Niners, what is it, plus 2.5?
yeah. Money
Niners, money
line.
line. Money line. Niners, they go get the win in Lambeau.
Hmm.
That's it. Niners. And I don't feel that strongly about it, but I'm going to keep chasing them until they win me some money. Then I'm going to reevaluate.
I feel
Yeah,
like every dick pic that we've included the Niners in has lost because of them. Um,
Sorry.
yeah. That's
well,
one guy responsible.
Yeah.
what about
What if one man
I feel
could
like Max
change
threw one
the
in once. Max threw one in early that we were bitching at him for because it was the last leg, I think. But I just looked up. So LaFleur is 2-1 against Shanahan in the regular season. Really huge sample size there. And then Shanahan is 2-0 against him in the playoffs. Is 2-0 against him in the playoffs. Yeah. So just betting on the numbers, but it also, yeah. I don't know. I was hoping that was going to be a larger disparage, but I don't, or disparity, but it's not.
That caught me so off guard. I'm sorry.
uh, hold on. Let's see. This is the hotter wife bowl, so let's see who has a hotter wife. Kyle Shanahan's wife.
and Lafleur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a taught him everything he knows bowl. Like
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, he's like the big brother who taught him like if you jerk off in the shower, your dick gets bigger. One of my friends when I was in elementary school, his brother that was in high school told us that.
So is this
It's like if you soap it up and jerk off in the shower, it's
I was
bigger.
wondering if you said that because you told Fuzz that. I wasn't.
No, I think I told him that that was told to me like as like later in life. I was like, "Yo, this
oh
person
man, I
said
don't
this to me."
know. I don't know what I think here.
After all, what about that stat? That mind-bending stat?
Two and
Two
one
and
in the
one
regular
regular
season.
Two and
season.
one.
Um, I don't know. Probably LaFleur's wife.
We've just been talking about nothing, and in the background, he's like, I think, fuck.
How about all right?
I'm gonna have to go with LaFleur's wife.
I'm going Packers. I'm going Packers spread. Packers minus 2.5.
Packers.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's and then I guess if Shanahan wins, we can make that gif of like Obi-Wan cutting off Anakin's legs. Obi-Wan Shanahan.
There you
Anakin's.
go.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I love that. I've been side questing, trying to figure out Corey and I's record with the Niners. Mine looks very bad. It looks like I'm pressing all the wrong buttons for me
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, all right, next game, Eagles minus 2.5. This is also, I think, besides the Pats Dolphins, these all live in the late window
Yep.
uh, or a night game.
Yep.
So the morning's gonna rock because it's a lot of fucking games, and the afternoon's gonna rock because it's a small amount of good games. So Eagles minus 2.5 at the Rams, over under 49.5. Eagles off the mini bye, won on Thursday Night Football against the Commanders. Rams, that 6-point win at the Pats. Um, so I hate betting the Eagles, but the Eagles, once upon a time, were a team that you could just set your watch to them winning by like 4 to 6 points every single week. This was about a year and a half ago that ended. But the Rams are a team that I feel like are destined to be, I don't know, like 9-8 or maybe 10-7. Like their peak is slightly above 500 and being like the Rams are a good football team, like well coached, like they're a good football team. But I feel like awful win against a bad team. Like that's a game they should win. This is a game they probably should lose. And yeah, I feel like the Eagles are maybe ramping back the fuck up. I don't know, but I'm betting the Eagles minus 2.5. I think they get it.
Yeah, me too. I think their defense has gotten a lot better throughout the year. Like they've improved a ton. I don't think the Rams defense is very good. I think the Eagles are going to be able to run the ball on them. Um, and just at just 2.5, it worries me a little bit. I feel like the number should probably be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I would have
On the
guessed
road
like,
though.
yeah, on the road, cross country, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think they're the better team, and I think they're playing really good ball right now. And I
Yeah.
hate them still, but Eagles.
It it's free money for me or for Vegas anytime that I bet the Eagles, and it doesn't fucking matter which side I bet in each game. I do. I love Matt Stafford. Me and Lewis, big Matt Stafford guys. If he has his weapons around, it's awesome. But the Eagles, like, they're one of those teams that at the beginning of the year they didn't look great and it felt awesome, but then they've gotten better each week, with the exception of Jalen Hurts' play every once in a while. And those I feel like are the most dangerous teams. Just seeing them getting better every time, so I like them. I like the Eagles minus 2.5 as well. So hopefully Mags zags for us, but we'll see.
There you go. All right. Last game, Ravens -3 at the Chargers, over under 49.5. Ravens off the Steelers lost. Chargers Touchdown win against the Bengals, although they were killing them. Then it was tied very, very late until there was last second touchdown. Um, I've loved the Chargers all year. Chargers are a bet it and forget it kind of team for me. Um, they have been kind of hanging on for like by a thread last couple weeks, and the Ravens really need a win. This is not a big number. I'm going to bet the Ravens. I think they win by like 4 to 7 points, or they might just fucking kill them. I think they win by more than 3. How about that?
I'm on Lewis. We've been pretty matchy today. I'm on the
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles. Jesus fuck. I'm on the Ravens as well. I think this could come down to which team. It it's kind of like who has the ball last, but different. Is like who's gonna give the game away last after like the Chargers last. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
who's gonna be the last team to piss this game away?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the Ravens they just have a little bit more experience. They're just a little like they've just been there more. Um, and like you said, they're coming off a tough loss because the Steelers own them. I think they get right this week. Justin Tucker's not going to miss 2 field goals again this week. Would be a shame if he did. Ravens -3.
Yeah, that was a killer. I hate being the third one when you guys go the same way because I don't want to go the same. The Ravens have been kind of they do the opposite of what I bet everyone every week as well lately, but I don't have as much hatred for them as the Eagles. Uh, I like the Chargers though, but and 49 and a half, like 50 points seems like a lot
It
for
does. I thought
for
about
this defense.
under as
I'm thinking
well.
about under, but I thought about under last year. I guess the Bengals have been scoring a bunch of points, which forced the Chargers to then score more points. But
Yeah.
I might
They
go under
they
here.
let they let the floodgates open at the beginning. Chargers did all their scoring, and then they just stopped. And
Yeah,
they're like,
Yeah.
"Don't you guys want to play too?" And they're like, "Oh
yeah.
fuck, we want to play." Thanks.
That makes me feel better to do the under because then I can root for the Ravens to lose. So I'm gonna go under in this game. And they both like to run the ball a lot, so
It feels like the Chargers are due for a loss. Not like a get killed loss. It just feels like they're due to lose a game.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree
Like
with that.
what are they 6-3, 7-3 right now?
Although it'll so come to the fucking Falcons next week in Atlanta, just because of
It
how awful the
The
Falcons have been.
Chargers are 7-3.
they don't just doesn't feel like they should be 8-3.
Yeah, no, I
I don't
agree.
know.
It feels like they should be 6-5 at the end of this week, which isn't even
Yeah.
possible. But
Yeah.
I did. So I did track down the Niners stuff. Corey, you haven't bet them as much as you think. I don't think, and you also haven't been as
Oh,
wrong on their games as you think. But
really?
I've bet them almost every week. This is we'll do another one of these to wrap up. So I had week 1 bet the Niners won. Week 2 bet the Niners lost. Week 3 bet the Niners lost. Week 4 bet against the Niners and I lost. They finally covered and when I zagged. Um, week 5 bet against the Niners again, won. Uh, week 6 bet the Niners won. Week 7 bet the Niners lost. Week 8 bet the Niners won. Week 9 they had a bye. Week 10 bet the Niners lost. So, and I forgot last week. Last week, Lewis bet the Niners and lost. So I bet them like in 10 games, like at least 7 times.
I
And they
felt
lose a
so
lot of them.
good. I felt so good about them the last 2 weeks. I think that's why I feel like
Yeah.
so crushed because I felt so fucking confident
Mm-hmm.
in them like getting right after the bye and they just
Yeah.
haven't.
And now when you feel like shit, this is when we pick them. This is when we
This
pick
is
the
when you go.
Niners.
This is you don't give up. This is when you don't give
Eric's
up.
shaking his head. He said, fuck, I wish I was on this train, bro. I wish I was on this
Uh,
trolley.
no, we'll have to go back and check the conspiracy to see who's trailing Corey from the time of his just absolute rocket takeoff.
Well, here's the thing. I think Corey's been trailing me, but it's just all the games I don't give out on here were different and I lose. And he wins those. That's the difference. Is I always go first and we always pick the same shit. And I'm like, oh damn, 4-5, same as Corey. I'm in for another big week this week. And then at the end of like going into the 2 primetime games, I'm 6-6 every fucking week.
I mean, I want to be
I'm
on that
so
train,
due
but
for a collapse.
I want to be on the train, but that the numbers don't lie. LaFleur is 2-1 against Shanahan in the regular season, so he's just gonna keep the
He
train
wins
rolling.
2/3 of his games against him.
Dude, exactly. 67%. When would I? What kind of idiot would I be to not take 67% odds?
I know. You don't get that in the NFL very often.
Exactly.
All right. Well, yeah, follow the podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or YouTube. Prime members can listen ad free on Amazon Music. X.com got the weekly picks. I don't know if you guys saw my my girlfriend turned me on.
Whoa.
She turned me on to a new
Congrats.
a new editing software. I did away with the one I was using, and I guess she uses Canva a lot for like.
I told you to use Canva before we started the fucking podcast.
All right, well, she saw me doing it the one day, and she was like, "Does it always take you this long?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking like this. This shit sucks. I got to make all these fucking text boxes." And she's like, "No, just like use." So I tried Canva this week. I think it looks better, and it only took me like 10 minutes this time. So
hell yeah.
I think per Eric's request, I'm gonna
Said,
use
do you
Canva.
pay for Canva? No, I didn't end up using it. I just used Snagit. I said, okay. And I was telling you that I've been using the free version of Canva, and it's nice. This was on August 27th.
Damn, he searched Canva and iMessage to get me.
I did.
Fuck. But yeah, so yeah, the weekly picks, and just you could see Corey yelling at Padres fans on there.
That
Instagram,
guy's such a fucking idiot.
Instagram, we also got the weekly picks and clips from the show. And TikTok, we also got clips from the show. So follow all of those. All of them are at Picks and Parlays. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you all next time.